This is Baruch, chapter 4. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take heed of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Give not thy honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us. Be of good cheer, my people. The memorial of Israel, ye were sold to the nations, not for destruction, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh. So that was the provocation, that we made, sacrificing to other gods, other idols, false deities, wood, graven images, stone. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. For when she saw the wrath of Yahweh coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Sion, Yahweh hath brought upon me great mourning, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow, and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of Yahweh. They knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trotted in the path of discipline in his righteousness. So we need to come back into remembrance, and follow the statutes, laws, and commandments that he has given us as best to our ability. And maybe that's what I'm gonna title the video, is coming back into remembrance. Let them that dwell upon Sion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting hath brought upon them. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and a strange language, who neither reverenced old man nor pitied children. So we know that, this nation that he brought against us, was Esau. In these last days, he brought the Spaniards over to the Americas. He brought the English, Portuguese, the French, the German, the Russians. He brought all of those nations against us. It's one nation. It's all Edom, with the strange language that we never knew. And that was part of our punishment. For as happy as he is to see us when we walk in his commandment, he also is happy to see us fall and be basically brought to nothing when we walk away from his statutes, laws, and commandments. verse 16. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. Go your way, O my children, go your way, for I am left desolate. I have put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Be of good cheer, O my children, cry unto the Lord, and he shall deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but Yahweh will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. So we're going to return back. We're going to return back to our land. We're not going to stay. This is not our resting. This is not the place of our resting. We need to understand that. And the 2/3 is not going to understand that. But this is for the elect. Because we do go through hardships. We're here. We labor in vain, when we didn't know what was going on. But now, we understand what's going on. We're not lost in this world. We're waking up to this truth. We're coming back into remembrance. So everything we're doing now, we do it for the Most High. It's His will at the end of the day. Everything that is done to us it's because we deserve it, whether it's good or bad. There's a balance to it all. Verse 26, I'm going to read that one again. For I have sent you out with mourning and weeping, but Yahweh will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from Yahweh, for thy enemy hath persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. So as we see in other chapters, as we see in Obadiah as well, and we're gonna come out of this. We know who our enemy is. We can see their sins. It's not like they have hidden everything, and it was not gonna be, revealed unto us what is and what is not. We're coming back into remembrance, as I've said. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh, for you shall be remembered of Shalakiah. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh, for you shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Take good heart, O Jerusalem, For he that gave thee the name, Shalakit, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflict thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that receiveth thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh. Lo, thy sons come whom thou sendest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west, by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh. So, we need to understand that our salvation, who's giving us that salvation is Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? There's nothing else there's no one else that we're going to get salvation from. We can't do this on our own. We're never going to rise above this enemy that we have on our own. We've fallen away from these statutes, laws, and commandments, and now we're here in a land with who basically are in a prison, and these so-called white man, has us in captivity. We can't follow these statute, laws, and commandments 100%. There's so many of them, we can't keep them. But that's because we went astray. So now through the grace of Yahweh, we, in believing, we could come back into remembrance. Being able to worship, following His statute, laws, and commandments to the best of our ability. I mean, we can't just give up. Can't just expect everything to be okay and continue in this life. This life is not. It's not what we were meant to be. As a whole. But we just went off. We went off. It's our sins. This is why we're living the way we're living. If you never question why you struggle, if you never question why you're so miserable here, well, now you know why. Let's go into chapter 5. Baruch chapter 5. Put off, O Jerusalem, the garments of thy mourning and affliction, and put on the comeliness of thy glory that cometh from Yahweh forever. Cast about thee a double garment of the righteous which cometh from Yahweh, and set a diadem on thy head of the glory of the everlasting. For Yahweh will show thy brightness unto every country under heaven, for thy name shall be called of Yahweh forever, the peace of righteousness and the glory of Yahweh's worship. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about towards the east, and behold thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of Yahweh. For they departed from thee on foot and were led away of their enemies, but Yahweh bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as children of the kingdom. For Yahweh hath appointed that every high hill and banks of long continents shall be cast down, and valleys filled up, to make even the ground that Israel may go safely into the glory of Yahweh. Moreover, even the woods and every sweet-smelling tree shall overshadow Israel by the commandment of Yahweh. For Yahweh shall lead Israel with joy in the light of his glory, with the mercy and righteousness that cometh from him. Everything is done in righteousness with him. You know, there's nothing that is wicked about him. All good and evil that comes our way is righteousness. Whether it's because we keep the law or we don't keep the law, there's a balance to this life here on earth, on this first earth that we're living in. Because this first earth is going to be destroyed, and there's going to be a new earth, a new heaven, a new kingdom. For everything must be put off with fire. His elect is going to be tried in that fire, as gold is tried in fire, to make everything pure again. Nothing in this world right now is living happily. Everything is mourning right now. Everything is dying. We're struggling to live on this earth. The oceans are